Hi, this is Sheila with Conscious Conversation Central, and today is Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018, and I'm with BC Rieger and Lisa Flamino Rush. And welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me. So, this evening, I think we're going to be talking about not giving our power away, and even more than that. And BZ, I love what you sent for us to consider about making a declaration of facts. You know, I hadn't even considered that, but would you talk to us about what you mean by that, and what you think would be a good idea for that? I mean, I kind of just am starting to figure out exactly who I am. So the idea of an actual declaration of who I am, maybe even in writing or something like that, is a good idea.
So yeah, you can do it in writing, you can do it in crayons, you can do it in a song, you can do it, speaking, you can do it telling a story. So you don't have to do it, in a very dry, more linear document kind of way, whatever moves you to do it. But there's
the idea of drawing something or color. Yeah. I do mandalas. I color mandalas, and doing something with my pens or something. That sounds like a really fun.
Legalese is not required here.
Right. Well, so a couple of things that I think maybe a very good thing to do is to play with it. So first of all, if you think, oh, declaration of facts, so you may or may not know what that is, in the linear world, although, with the case in Tennessee and then the things with the memos and all that kind of stuff, it's much more commonplace than it used to be. So it's that declaration, you're stipulating different facts. Okay. So when you start to play with that, it gets you feeling into it, not just thinking about it, which you can start with, but drop in and feel into it. And what are those? And again, it's one of those things, you're giving voice to it. So, and you can show it to other people if you want to, and that's only your choice what you move to do. What happens in your whole, in your whole body, mind, emotion, energetic sphere is that when you think about it and then you feel into it, so it drops in your heart, and then you just start doodling, playing. So you pick up a pencil, a pen, whatever, kind of implement you. I was actually playing with a bamboo pen from my tablet, and I was just trying to see if I get the pen to work, and I thought I broke it anyways. But I had to laugh because without even thinking about it, I drew several dog faces, and to me, I was just, kind of scribbling, and I looked and I thought, wait a minute, that's a dog. And then I was, hitting a setting. And so the reason I bring that up with is that if we're not directing something, because if someone said draw a dog, I'd go, okay, but it's not going to look like any dog on this planet or the 18 others around here, but just in not even thinking about it. So the declaration of facts, what does that mean to you? Well, I could give you a recipe, and there you might do X number and this, that, and the other thing. But they're your facts. They're your facts of I am for you. And, what does that mean to you? And you can start small and then move forward, because they're almost like, what comes to me right now is your own energetic code of standing in, your power and not giving it away anymore and recognizing it. So you think of it, you feel into it, you start to play, doodle, however that is, and then now you're creating them, because through the pencil, the graphite in the pencil, or the ink in the pen, or the wax and pigment in the crayon or crayons or whatever it is, or music, so the notes, or however it is, it's now flowing. So again, what you're putting into matter, and then you're going to look at it. So you'll look at the words, you'll hear it, whatever it is. So that's now transferring it back to you. So it came from you, it came out, it put it down in some form. You looked at it, you recognized it from you, you recognized it back in. Now it's coming in a new way. So both the left side and the right side of the brain and all the functions have made that merge in the corpus callosum up here. And
I know what you were laughing about. I know what you were laughing about just then. I heard that.
Not me. And so that you can, you, by having it come out of you onto the outer and then taking it back in, you actually anchor it into you on all different levels of consciousness, energetic levels, mentality levels, all that kind of thing.
Well, I'm loving this idea because as you were speaking in terms of that, I was, because you know, I the way I operate for me is I like asking myself questions about, that's kind of like my MO now, you know, just whether I'm trying to discern something, and this is this too. What am I trying to discern? So I'm trying to discern, well, you know, who do I think I am? And so by putting that down, and I've actually, as I said, I love coloring mandalas, but all of a sudden I started seeing the idea of putting together even a collage, or, you know, just all kinds of visuals along with writing, or I don't paint or, you know, draw really or anything like that. But I love that idea actually, because it could be done with symbols or visuals or words or even pictures I cut out of a magazine for that matter. I love that idea. And
let me just add something to that. So, because you said, who do I think I am?
Well, is that what I said?
Yeah. So that's great. But I'm going to write down some of the notes.
I said that, right? I mean, who do I think I am? Well, I guess.
But I don't want you to think about who you are.
Okay.
So that's why I stopped you there. So I'm going to just read you some of the notes that go with this. This is from
from what
the new sheet. Not the other day sheet.
Yes, okay. These are your nudges that just
page 2.
Well, but I want everyone to understand what this is. When you say you're reading, this is your method of when you get a nudge, you get it out. You have a way of doing that where you have a voice recorder and then you email them to yourself. So this is your way, because I love that, by the way.
Yes.
And I think that's excellent. You got a nudge that this is something that we could benefit from talking about. And I love that you followed through on that and you've shared it with Lisa and I, and this is what you're referring to. So please continue.
So, I'll just read you what I wrote here, and you'll have to get over the disjointed because I'm speaking and it was a quantum flow of stuff. So it was number 10, no longer giving your power away. Make a declaration of facts, a declaration of who you are, not who you think you are.
I see.
A declaration of standing in your creator beingness, a declaration of standing in your soulness, a standing in your you-ness, your universal total sourceness. This is a declaration of that. Not who you think you are.
I gotcha.
Of the facts that with specificity, the energetic frequency, vibration expansion of that.
So when I say of who I think I am, well, I'm more than what I think I am. So
Right.
is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. So the declaration of facts, this is not coming from here. It's coming from here.
Well, you know, I still have trouble with that. It's not that I'm not trying to be obtuse, or it's not, it's just that whenever.
Okay, we're going to play on camera. So do you both have pen and paper for right now?
I do. Do you have something, okay, Lisa?
I have the list, and I'll write on the back.
There you go.
You got a pen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So take whatever hand you don't write with and put it on your heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to make you write with the opposite hand. Although that would probably be good because it would.
Yeah, that's actually
your
not a bad idea.
Yeah, but if we're going to show it to anybody or want to read it, it might not be planned for me, but.
Okay, so now just close your eyes and go in to all of you. Go into your you-ness. Capital Y-O-U-ness. And go into your creator beingness. And just breathe and expand out. Step into your soulness. And feel your hand pulsing with your total universal sourceness. And feel the answering pulsing from the sun into your hand, into your heart, into all of your body. Every energetic synapse fiber of your being is now pulsing with this. This is who you are. This is where you're connected. You'll ask for partnership from your head, the thinking part, about knowing how to hold the pen or whatever implement you're using, and how to guide the hand. But your heart, your you-ness. So ask your heart and answer from your heart and feel from your heart the beginning of your declaration of facts about your you-ness. And what's the first thing, or a couple of things, words, thoughts, phrases, ideas, concepts that come to heart when you let it go? So write them down. Okay, and when you get the sec, put your writing hand down, put your hand spread out on the paper, whatever it is you just wrote on, and reconnect with the other hand that's on your heart. No, one's on the heart, the writing hand is on the paper, and the other hand is on your heart. Okay? And close your eyes, and now make a circuit between your heart and your hand. So you gave voice to something through the energy of your pen or pencil into the paper, and make that into a circuit. So it's an energetic envelope. You've actually created a reality envelope right in this moment. So there's 4 different envelopes. There's the Sheila in a circuit in that envelope. There's a Lisa in a circuit in her envelope. There's a BZ here. And then there's all of us in this envelope together with all the other beings that are playing with this as well. So now open your eyes and look, and does what you've written down, would you say it shares the energy vibration of a declaration from your creator beingness in that?
I think so.
Okay. So Lisa, read yours first and then we'll go play with Sheila.
I said, I am eternal. I am love. I am peace and tranquility. I am laughter. I could have said more, but I ended it there. I wanted to expound on the laughter and fun.
Right. And there's a knowing quality to your voice when you read it. Wasn't something that you got right or got wrong. It wasn't anything, it was just something that flowed and standing in that.
Yes.
Cool. And you're not selling anything. You don't need to correct anybody or convince anybody because it's you and they can do whatever they want with it, but you know.
That's
who
right.
you are. Right.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see.
I drew pictures.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Well,
can you show them to the camera?
yes, I can.
Okay.
But the reason, okay, so I had my eyes
And
closed.
equivocating is not a soul beingness thing. Cool.
I love it.
I love it.
The reason I started laughing as soon as was that your phone, BZ, that went off?
Yeah.
Was because that is what I was already thinking.
Music. Yeah.
And it showed up in your phone, and I started laughing because I was like, okay, did I do that?
Could be.
Most likely.
Well,
that's beautiful.
remember my little heart guy? I don't know why, but he had to make an appearance.
Yeah. And what's this one down? Whoops. Down.
Under the music note.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's just my signature. That's just an S.
It looks like an infinity loop.
Yes, it does.
Well, I guess it
So your signature is a Sheila infinity loop. I like it.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you. Yeah, that's just my signature S.
Yeah.
I think if you look on the little card that you got from me, you'll see that.
Yeah, cool. I like it.
Thanks. I didn't realize that's what that was, but that's how.
Okay, so then if each of you would share what that felt like, the process of dropping out of your head, of where did you go? What did you feel? What did you experience when I was speaking with you while we're tuning in to that before you wrote anything?
You want to go first, Lisa? Or?
Sure. For me, that's my favorite place to be. Anytime that I feel fear or panic or anything going on, I know that when I go there to that space, all is right. There's nothing wrong there. There are no problems of any kind. So it is my favorite place to dwell. It's really expansive. It isn't, for me, it doesn't feel identified in any one way or attached to any one thing. And I feel eternal. And I feel the love that I am and the peace that I am. And I notice that sometimes I forget about that place. And most recently, I mean, really in the last year, have I really gotten good at remembering that is who I am. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say earlier when Sheila had said something, for me, it is about allowing the truth to lead the day. And this place that I connected with just then, where I know that I am eternal and that I am love and that I am peace and tranquility, that is the truth of me. And so for me, this is about allowing that truth of me to be in charge of the show.
Right.
and not the little me that's attached to the problems and the things and everything that is in the linear world. And I'm getting much better at remembering who I really am and allowing that to lead the program.
Yeah, and if we hooked you up, even the video of you up to, well, there's certain kinds of monitors and machines that actually don't, the newer ones that Bruce Lipton talks about and others, they don't even have to be in the same room with you. It can just pick up your signature. Okay. I can read a lot of it by the way that I interact with you and your energetics.
Yes.
But people would be able to see that your colors have changed, the actual character of the words, so the frequency of the words and the modulation and resonance of those words shifted from before you did this. Because it went to, maybe if I was just to describe it in a metaphoric way, from one octave to another with more breath. So maybe I'm not good at music, but with a double, a double chord, right? Instead of just picking out a few things, meaning the fullness of who you are stepped into the whole cadence and resonance of the sound mechanism that you were using within you to give voice to that. Does that make sense?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if people were noticing your physical presence changed.
Interesting.
As well.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me, because I had no idea. I could feel the change within me, just how I felt. But to know that radiates, wow, how powerful is that?
So, yeah, it's very cool. So I'm going to make a note here because I want to come back to it. Okay, so Sheila, go ahead and.
Well, when I closed my eyes and when you began to speak, I got the colors again that I normally get when I don't meditate, and I don't know that I'm still not sure in regards to whether I'm actually dropping from my head into my heart. So it was comfortable. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I stepped into anything because I can't. I don't know from that. And I know that you have said that it's not an intellectual exercise, and I'm not trying to make it into one, but at the same time, I'm not sure if and I don't want to sit here and say if I think properly, because that's kind of goofy to say.
What did you feel when you drew the first symbol? What prompted you to draw that first symbol? What prompted you to go to drawing instead of just writing a word or sentence?
It's been ever since we started talking about this. It's just been there that's how I would express it, is in symbols or in maybe some words if I had spent more time. And this is something I am going to play with for myself, because I think this will be an excellent exercise and continuing on for me from this video to explore and play for me.
Yeah. So let me talk to mental Sheila for a minute.
Okay.
If you were gonna,
I don't know how to flip back and forth, by the way. So I'm not sure who you get to talk to.
So, declaration of facts, right? And you're going to write them, or you're going to create a declaration of facts about who you are. what do you think is the most valid way to do that?
Well, you're right. Okay, mental Sheila would say inward.
Okay.
Very linear, very I am this or that, and hard on myself would be one of them.
Okay.
And
so did she just answer the question? When I asked you before, what did you feel? And you said, well, I don't know that I was in my heart, and I was probably in my head, and it's hard and all this kind of stuff, right? So then I took you around and you had this beautiful discussion and you described why you were prompted to write those things, and you still were equivocating on it. Then I hit you directly from a very linear languaging perspective to the mental Sheila, and you lined out like this with your hand what it would be, and they didn't match at all, did they?
No.
So that gives you back around to the first question I asked you, right, about being in your heart. Now you don't have to have that equivocation, because actually Sheila, well, Big Sheila and Sheila have answered the question, one in a roundabout way, and mental, coming from the mental construct, Sheila, in a very.
So am I hearing you say that when I stop to think about it, that's where I'm messing up, because in other words, I'm doing it, but it's only in the asking or thinking about whether I'm doing it is when I start to question myself.
Well, first of all, I didn't say that there was in any way, shape, or form that you had any messing up.
Okay, no, I know those were my words, not yours.
And what I was actually just calling attention to for you and then for others is that you have a knowing, you're just not trusting it, so you get muddled in the describing of where the knowing is, between your heart or your head. But if asked for with specificity and particularity from a totally linear languaging, you gave us what those would be. So in essence, with that very specific thing that you gave us the answer to, you actually gave us a beautiful illustration of what you did, right, at the beginning with the symbols on the paper, and where that came from. Because we know it didn't come from the linear mind. Because the linear mind was giving us with specificity and particularity, how that would be showing up. Does that make sense? That's why I asked, that's what I'm trying to give you. If you go back and watch it, you'll see an illustration, and you did the illustration for us of what that is.
Okay, yeah, I will have to go back and watch it, because as I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay.
Okay, Lisa gets it. Can you describe it? Because you watch this go on all the time. So.
Yes, she does know the difference.
Yeah.
It's almost a habit.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
That you say, I don't know, and
right.
You dismiss what you know.
Yes.
And I think it's important she watches this.
Yes.
Because I think you explained it beautifully, and she's still. It's just
so
a habit.
Creating a block for myself in that, do you think is that what I'm hearing? Because yeah, why would I do that to myself? That's
because you're becoming a very dangerous being right this moment.
What?
So is Lisa. So is anybody who does this exercise is becoming very dangerous.
Well, I can tell you that since
not to me, but to certain.
Well, the minute we
Who is it programs? Oh, I'm sorry. Who's doing the blocking is what I'm curious about.
Well, it's a combination of the two. Yeah, your ego mind is doing some of the blocking.
Oh, and you're saying the other one maybe is the programs that are inside.
Remember we have that. Remember there's that safety trigger mechanism that rides on top of them. You know, of the programs, it's a shielding, right? In any computer code or anything, there's a shield on that's protecting it, and once this is making that shielding be breached.
Is that partly why I'm having the I'm right. I mean, right this minute, I'm having the chest pains again, like the feeling of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you're just having a heart attack, but yeah.
Yeah. One of the two.
So big. Check in tomorrow if Sheila's still kicking. We know it wasn't a heart attack. You're so funny. Just by the way.
Yeah, well, it's not all of a sudden it's been coming on for the last 4 or 5 minutes. So
No, yes, it is. It has been. You're right. It's been bothering me. So,
Right.
I mean, I knew it was there.
Right.
So it's a combination of the shielding of those programs saying, warning, 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 warning. She's getting it. We got to do something to stop it. And the lower ego mind trying to throw a monkey wrench in it as well is what I'm hearing you both say.
Yeah, because if you the way that you've been living before was, it's you plot it all out, you plod through it, you lay it out, and it can be rearranged, and you can be guided, and you were very malleable, and you could be sheep-alongs and all that kind of stuff, and you're just damned annoying right now because
Well,
we need a bigger dog who's gonna bark at you or something because you're just not paying attention, or a bigger shepherd's crook or something, But I think it's fascinating. I'll give you one other thing that I think is fascinating. When I was saying what I was saying and doing what I was doing with transmitting codes and stuff, and watching not just the video, but watching each of you. So kind of being present with each of you. Lisa was very easy and an all in a cohesive stream of energy frequency. Sheila, you were very interesting because a lot of concerted effort, I think is a good way to phrase it, went into blocking it. You blocking in the out. It was your external body language that was also putting the blocking out. There were several just very soft smiles on your face, which were big Sheila. But the rest was very demonstrable blocking. So when you turn the paper around, I was a little bit surprised how well the little smiles came through and was steering. Your heart was steering the whole exercise. Is what I'm trying to say. But if you watch the video and you watched it from my point when I was tuning into you, it was very clear there was a lot of kind of blocking and interference trying to be run on you doing that. Just turn your paper for a minute. I want to see. Well,
that's very exciting and encouraging, is it not, Sheila?
Well, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay, see the weight. Okay, you can turn around and look at the weight of the actual pressure point and pen ink strokes in the first and the third drawing. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in other words, if you pick up a pen and you draw something, you'll have something that you have a knowing to will often have more weight. I'm not a handwriting analysis person or anything, but will have more weight. So more pressure for the ink and so on and so forth, and there's more of a flow to it. And something where there's a little bit more hesitancy is not the right word, but perhaps not as much familiarity. It's a little lighter. And this is just my reading, but what I take that to mean is that as you were going through and maybe if I looked at your symbols that you drew and then listened to myself again, the words that I was saying and the keys and codes giving out, your heart was spot on driving the boat right from the beginning. And that blocking and interference came in the second one. And then the heart jumped in again more strongly on that.
I would agree with that. If for no other reason except the fact that the little heart guy is something I've drawn all my life. Just, you know, I made him up a long time ago as my little buddy sort of thing.
Right. But the familiarity is the energetics that I'm talking about. So it's even more interesting to me now that remembering about the heart guy is that since it is a, you know, your buddy and more from a linear construct kind of a thing, but he's fainter. It should have been the other way around. You know, he should have been.
Well, now in fairness, while Lisa was talking, I was going back and filling in here and filling in here.
Oh, okay.
So, in fairness,
okay,
the
so
original drawing wasn't quite as dark on either of those.
But were they the same as the you know, the weight on the ink, was that the same or not?
I would say yes. That's what I'm saying. I went back in and started filling in. But see, and I was going back. I was going to go back here and do some over here too, but then we got to me. So I stopped.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the lips weren't even on the sun or the nose either. It was just the eyes, and it was one, you know, one mark, and then I drew the lips and colored them in while I was waiting. So in fairness, but I mean, the music note would have been a little darker. Yes, it would just not this dark.
Did you either of you notice anything when you put your hands over and you completed that circuit?
That's when my heart started hurting.
Yeah, the energy was running. I mean, it was like, and I could visualize. Well, I do a thing too. I automatic write, and I do this figure 8 infinity loop that I do. Amplifies my energy. I feel it, like it races, and I could visualize. Only it was from my hand to the paper and my heart. So it was almost like it was standing up this time, and it was just racing. I got it just whipping, kind of like sometimes I would have my whole arm just going like this with the figure 8 symbols, you know, and that's what it felt like. I could visualize that energetic just whipping.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so just play with that, you know, exercise. It's one way to get us into our hearts. And as you do it more, if you're doing symbols and stuff, you know, what are those symbols? What are they showing you or telling you, or what are they speaking to you? Instead of I don't want to say what do they mean, because then you're back up here again. You know.
Well, I knew what mine are speaking to me. I mean, I look at all of my life as a song or music. I know up here, music is also frequency. So that's up here, but that's not, I mean, I've been one that enjoys singing and always have since I was little. Sang in competitions and stuff like that in school. So music and singing and that sort of thing has always been a part of me. That's, I think, why that hearts and the little heart guy is just always been a part of my life. I've always loved hearts. I've always drawn hearts. That's just, and I always felt like the sun was a happy, shiny, um, I've always, so I don't know. I've always identified with those things.
Yeah, you are all of those things to me. I mean, when I saw those symbols, I thought that was a great definition of you. I could see you in each and every one of those symbols.
Well, and I love it too. So if you think of some of the literature and stuff, you're coming to sing the song that's in your heart, right? Coming to life is about singing the song in your heart. And the heart man is a heart expansion and opening right now of all of man, humankind.
Yes.
Right? And the sun is the central sun, and we're connecting to that, and it's pulsing and rippling within us, and the core of everything. Right? And then the last one, which is supposedly the signature, is the infinity loop, and you're limitless. So yeah, but you're just,
well, you know what? This is not the first time I've done something like that, and then I get so surprised that whole thing, you know, BZ
yes.
and I talked about that in our second conversation. When I drew a sigil and then realized almost a year later that I drew what I thought my philosophy on life was, as I saw it, as I was explaining to Lisa and some other friends of ours in Zoom. I happened to catch that sigil out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, I put all of that in that sigil and I didn't even realize it. So, and I think this is true for almost every person if they allow themselves the freedom to explore this kind of thing.
Yes.
I've been amazed at my own self, but I'm certain that everyone would find that. But it's, for me, it's been all about the questioning of everything and that puzzle piece collecting. And then I was doing it, BZ, and I didn't even know it, the noticing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time to allow the truth of who and what we are to shine forth now. This is it.
Right. That's why the declaration of facts, because you're declaring it.
Yeah. And owning it.
Yeah.
Yes. And while we didn't really spend a lot of time on it, but once that owning, once that declaration of facts, once you have that for yourself, stepping into it, owning it, and then not allowing your power to be taken or not giving it away.
Right.
Right.
It can't be taken from you. You have to give it.
No, that's right.
That's why you're complicit.
That's right. That is true. That is why I feel like we have all been complicit in this, and there are no victims. We can hang around here and act like we're being taken from, and I know that on the outside, that's what it looks like and feels like to a lot of folks, but that's just not the case.
Yeah.
And
so it's powerful. Like I said, I think both of you, Sheila, you gave the symbols of declaration of facts, and Lisa gave, there were phrases actually more than sentences. So the phrase is your phraseology, right?
Yes.
Of how you're bringing it forth, and a phrase, think about, certain phrases, they have meanings, they have metaphors, they have symbols and triggers, and they have a whole scope of breadth and depth of something, right, that's contained within that phrase, more than just the sum of the characters either in each word or together.
Right.
So there's no coincidence in either of those things the way that you did it.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to play some more with it later.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you, BZ. This has been excellent.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I am gonna have to go back and watch. I don't usually go back and watch the videos, but there's a couple of them I know I want to, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So thank you both so much.
Yeah, thank
As
you.
always, this is so much fun. So as always, we'll have links to both of your blogs, BZ at the IUV and Lisa with the Heart Song Musings and Rush Solutions Tools for Transformation. And of course, there'll be a way to the link to the Conscious Conversation Central Facebook page and my email address there. I'm still collecting members to the PPC squad. So if you'd like to be a part of the email list, just to be notified of changes and updates and things like that, just put add me in your subject line and send that there, and share in the comment section. Send, if you want to share, and send. I've actually started a playlist for viewer mail and comments.
Cool.
I'll be doing videos. So if anyone feels like they would like to share their declaration of facts, you're welcome to send that, and I'll scan them in. If it's a picture or whatever you'd like to do, if you want to share it, and we'll do a video about that. If folks want to participate in that, I think that would be awesome. If you want to, if you just want to share it with someone and you don't want it public, that's cool too. Whatever you'd like to do. So thanks, guys.
Mhm.
Thank
Until
you.
next time.
Bye.